Right, so this is the other question. Okay, this is question 6. So we've got a linear, quadratic. We need to solve that. Give us some information. M's a real constant. We're told the simultaneous equations have exactly one pair of solutions, so our discriminant must be 0. And we have to find the two possible values of M, giving the answer in exact form, which means it's going to be a fraction or a third. So what do we need to do? We need to get our linear and substitute it into our quadratic to get rid of one of our own unknowns, because we have x, we have y, and we have m. So let's do that. So let's rewrite our quadratic. Let's write our linear as y equals mx minus 2. So then I'll rewrite my quadratic. So I've got x squared minus 2x plus my y squared minus 4 lots of my y. That's equal to 4. Okay, keep writing out all the terms or you will lose one. Okay. Right now, let's put in my y. And we can see now there are only x's and m's. Okay, so let's expand these out. Okay, remember, I've got x squared, taking away 2x. I'm adding that quadratic, and I'm taking away 4mx minus 4 times 2. I'm adding 8, and that equals 4. Okay, now, if I expand this, I get mx times mx, which is m squared x squared. Mx is minus 2. I'm going to do that twice, so I have minus 4 mx, and then negative 2 times negative 2 gives me positive 4. Right, okay, so that's good. But now I need to group my x squareds and my x's and work out what my quadratic is. So I've got one lot of x squared plus m squared lots of x squared. So I've got 1 plus m squared times x squared. And that means that this is a. Now I need to look at my x's. I've got minus 2x here, I've got minus 4mx here, and minus 4mx here. So that means I've got minus 2 minus 8m. Because I've got 4mx and another 4mx. And that's multiplying x. So that means that this is b. And then finally, I've got the numbers, which are going to be my constant. So I'm adding 4 and adding 8. That's 12. But I've got to make this equal to 0 if I'm going to solve it. So I've got 12 take away 4, which is 8. Okay, and that equals 0. Right, so now I've got C. Right, so now we can use this fact that our simultaneous equation has exactly one pair of solutions. So that means I'm going to do b squared. I'm going to use b squared minus 4ac equals 0. So b squared is going to be minus 2 minus 8m squared minus 4 times 1 plus m squared times c, which is 8 equals 0. Okay, so I expand all of that, I will get 32m squared plus 32m minus 28 equals 0. So now I've got a quadratic in terms of m. So my quadratic in terms of m, well, you can see there's a common factor, so I'm going to take that out. 4 times 8m squared plus 8m minus 7 equals 0. And again, I can factorize and solve that. Okay, so it's going to add up to 8 and be that. So that's going to be minus, so yeah, minus 7 and 1, but that's basically 8 is that. So if I find out my m is equal to 0.56 or minus 1.56. Now, if we want the exact answers, what do we do? So for my exact answers, okay, well, I know that A is equal to 8. Okay, from this quadratic, I know that B is equal to 8, and I know that C is equal to -7. So all you do is use the quadratic formula. X equals minus 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 8 times minus 7, and all of that is divided by 2a. Okay, so let's reduce it. We know that this bit, so it's going to be minus 8 plus or minus the square root. All of that gives me 288. Okay, and I've got a common factor, which I can take out. So I'm going to take out 4. Which means I'm left with the square root of 18. 4 gives me minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 18 over 4. And I can further simplify that third if I really want to. Minus 2 plus or minus 3 root 2 over 4. That is the exact